Captain Theron Vall stood on the bridge of the UEA Leviathan, a vessel that dwarfed even the largest warships of previous generations. The Leviathan wasn't just a carrier. It was a mobile shipyard, a research station, and a symbol of humanity's reach into the stars. Around him, the bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, their faces illuminated by the holographic displays that flickered with data. They were approaching the Tylos Nebula, a region known for its volatile energy emissions and unpredictable spatial anomalies. It was also the edge of explored space, a place where anything could be lurking. Sub-Commander Fryn, status report. Vall commanded, his voice calm and steady. Sub-Commander Rena Fryn, her dark hair pulled back in a tight bun, turned from her console. Captain, we're approaching the outer edge of the nebula. Energy readings are spiking, as expected. No unusual spatial distortions detected, but I recommend we proceed with caution. Vall nodded. Agreed. Helmsman, maintain course but reduce speed. Sensors, scan for any unusual signatures. First contact protocol. As the Leviathan crept into the nebula, the sensors picked up something unexpected. Captain, we have a contact, the sensor officer announced, his voice laced with surprise. Unknown vessel, approximately 5 light-minutes distant. Design matches nothing in our database. Vall's eyes narrowed. On screen. Hail them. The main view screen shimmered, resolving into the image of a ship unlike anything Vall had ever seen. It was crystalline in structure, its surfaces faceted and shimmering with iridescent light. The vessel was sleek, alien, and undeniably advanced. No response to our hails, Captain, the communications officer reported, attempting to establish a translation matrix. Maintain hails, Vall ordered, and prepare for possible hostile action. Shields up, weapons on standby. He hoped it wouldn't come to that. Humanity had always sought peaceful contact with new civilizations, but they couldn't afford to be naive. A misunderstanding in the nebula. Minutes stretched into an eternity as the Leviathan and the alien vessel drifted closer to each other. Finally, the communications officer spoke. Captain, we have a partial translation. They call themselves the Krill. Their language is highly complex, but we're getting fragments. Vall turned to the screen. Patch it through. A distorted voice filled the bridge. Energy. Violation. Nebula. Forbidden. What do they mean, forbidden? Fryn asked, her brow furrowed. Before Vall could respond, the sensor officer spoke again. Captain, the Krill vessel is charging weapons. They're targeting the nebula itself. Vall's mind raced. Were they trying to destroy the nebula, or were they protecting it? He had to act quickly. All stations, prepare for combat, he ordered. But hold your fire. I want to know what they're doing. A race against time. The Krill vessel unleashed a beam of energy that struck the nebula, causing a massive surge of energy. Spatial distortions rippled through the area, threatening to tear the Leviathan apart. Shields at maximum. Vall shouted. What in the hell are they doing? Captain, they're stabilizing the nebula. The sensor officer exclaimed. The energy emissions are decreasing. The spatial distortions are subsiding. Vall stared at the view screen in disbelief. The Krill weren't attacking the nebula. They were protecting it. But why? He turned to the communications officer. Transmit this message. We are the United Earth Alliance vessel Leviathan. We mean you no harm. We are here to explore and understand. Explain your actions. The response came quickly. Apologies. Misunderstanding. Nebula. Sacred. Must be protected. Energy volatile. Vall let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. A misunderstanding. It could have been a disaster. Transmit. We understand. We respect your customs. We wish to learn more. Request permission to enter your space and engage in diplomatic talks. The Krill vessel hesitated for a moment, then responded. Permission granted. Proceed with caution. We await. Vall smiled. First contact. It was a new beginning, a chance to build bridges between civilizations, but he knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges. The Krill were an enigma, their motives unclear, but one thing was certain: the fate of two civilizations might depend on the choices they made in the coming days. The Leviathan had woken up something. A new path into a new part of the galaxy was opening up. The surrender of Admiral Liwei's fleet at Arcturus sent shockwaves through the Meridian Alliance. The sheer speed and overwhelming force displayed by the human fleet, especially the Hyperion, shattered their long-held belief in their technological superiority. The Prometheus and the Hyperion maintained a tight security perimeter around the disabled Meridian vessels, while teams of engineers and diplomats began the delicate process of boarding and assessing the situation. On board the Hyperion, Fleet Admiral Helena Martinez surveyed the tactical displays. The battle was won, but the war, if it could even be called that, was far from over. She knew that the Meridian Alliance was a complex web of client races and political factions. Some would undoubtedly seek revenge, while others might see an opportunity for advancement by aligning with humanity. "Admiral," reported Commander Jiro, her second-in-command, "boarding parties are reporting minimal resistance. The Meridian crews seem to be in a state of shock. They're complying with our instructions." "Good," Martinez replied. "But maintain a high alert. We can't afford to be complacent. What about the intelligence gathered from the Meridian ships?" "Preliminary analysis indicates a society built on the illusion of technological dominance," Jiro explained. "They've kept their client races in the dark, suppressing innovation to maintain their control. Our technology has completely shattered that facade." Martinez nodded grimly. "Just as we suspected. This could destabilize the entire region. We need to proceed carefully." Zerk's revelation. Meanwhile, on the Prometheus, intelligence operative Zerk was being held in a secure detention cell. Despite her capture, she felt a sense of grim satisfaction. The information she had gathered, even though incomplete, had revealed the true scale of humanity's power to the Meridian Alliance. Captain Sarah Chin entered the cell, her expression a mix of curiosity and concern. "Zerk, we know who you are, and we know what you were trying to do. Why?" Zerk hesitated, then spoke. "The Meridian Alliance believed you were a threat. They underestimated you. I came to learn the truth." "And what did you learn?" Chin asked, her voice gentle. "That you are far more powerful than we imagined," Zerk admitted. "That the Alliance's control is based on lies. That you could crush us all if you wanted to." Chin sighed. "We don't want to crush anyone. We want to help. We want to share our knowledge and technology, but we won't stand by and watch the Alliance oppress others." Diplomacy and deception. As diplomatic talks began between human and Meridian representatives, tensions remained high. The Meridian delegation, led by a cautious Counselor Saro, attempted to downplay the significance of the Battle of Arcturus, portraying it as a minor misunderstanding. "We assure you, Captain Chin," Saro said during a virtual conference, "that the Meridian Alliance seeks only peaceful relations with humanity. Admiral Liwei acted without authorization. He will be held accountable for his actions." Chin raised an eyebrow. "With all due respect, Counselor, we have evidence to the contrary. We know that the Alliance has been suppressing technology and exploiting its client races. We also know that you are aware of the true scale of our capabilities." Saro's crystalline form shifted nervously. "These are sensitive matters. The Alliance is a complex entity. There are differing opinions on how best to proceed." "Then perhaps it's time for the Alliance to change," Chin suggested. "Perhaps it's time to embrace transparency and cooperation. We are willing to help you, but we will not tolerate deception or oppression." The meeting ended without a clear resolution. Both sides knew that much more was at stake than just a few damaged warships. The future of the Meridian Alliance, and perhaps the entire region of space, hung in the balance. The Hyperion and the Prometheus remained vigilant, ready for whatever came next. Following the Battle of Arcturus, An uneasy peace settled between humanity and the Meridian Alliance. Diplomatic talks continued, but undercurrents of distrust and resentment simmered beneath the surface. Councillor Sorrow, now the de facto leader of the alliance, struggled to maintain unity amidst growing dissent from hardline factions. On the human side, Fleet Admiral Martinez remained wary. She knew that the alliance was not a monolithic entity, and that some elements within its ranks were actively plotting against them. The capture of intelligence operative Zerk had provided valuable insights into the alliance's internal dynamics, but it also revealed the lengths to which they were willing to go to maintain their power. Orion and his crew spent weeks scouring the Cygnus Reach, searching for clues. They discovered fragments of destroyed ships, but nothing that could explain the disappearances. The wrecks were too heavily damaged to identify their origin, and there were no survivors. Then, one day, the Nemesis stumbled upon a ghost ship. It was a Meridian Alliance transport vessel, drifting aimlessly through space, its hull riddled with holes. But there were no signs of battle, no debris, no bodies. It was as if the crew had simply vanished. "Report," Orion ordered, his voice grim. "Sensors detect residual energy signatures consistent with human slip space drives," the sensor officer reported. "But the signatures are distorted, as if the drives were malfunctioning." Confined to a secure holding cell aboard the Hyperion, Zerk wrestled with her conscience. She had dedicated her life to serving the Meridian Alliance, believing in its mission of bringing order and stability to the galaxy. But the encounter with humanity had shattered her illusions. She had seen the potential for a better future, a future where knowledge and cooperation replaced oppression and deceit. Captain Chin visited Zerk regularly, engaging her in long conversations about human philosophy, technology, and culture. Chin was patient and understanding, never pressuring Zerk to betray her people. Instead, she offered her a chance to see the world from a different perspective. "Zerk," Chin said during one such visit, "we know that you're torn between your loyalty to the Alliance and your newfound understanding of humanity. We're not asking you to abandon your principles. We're simply asking you to consider the possibility that the Alliance is not what you thought it was." Zerk hesitated, then spoke. "I have seen the truth. I have seen your power, your technology, your compassion. But my people, they will not understand. They will see only a threat. Then it's our responsibility to show them otherwise," Chin replied. "It's our responsibility to prove that humanity can be a force for good in the galaxy." Meanwhile, aboard a secluded research station orbiting a distant gas giant, a clandestine group of Meridian scientists and military officers were plotting their revenge. Led by the ambitious General Salo, a staunch traditionalist who believed in the Alliance's inherent superiority, they were working on a secret project that could turn the tide of the conflict. "The humans may have won the Battle of Arcturus," Zalo declared during a closed-door meeting, "but they have not won the war. We will not allow them to dictate our future. We will not allow them to undermine our authority." The project, codenamed Serpent's Embrace, involved reverse engineering stolen human technology to create a new generation of weapons. They aimed to develop a weapon capable of disrupting human slip space drives, effectively trapping their ships in normal space and rendering them vulnerable to attack. One of the scientists, a brilliant but disillusioned researcher named Ilo, had grave reservations about the project. He had witnessed the destructive power of human technology firsthand, and he feared that trying to replicate it would only lead to disaster. "General," Ilo said, his voice trembling, "I must protest. This project is too dangerous. We do not fully understand the principles behind human slip space technology. Attempting to weaponize it could have unforeseen consequences." "Silence, Ilo," Zalo snapped. "Your concerns are noted, but they are irrelevant. We have no choice. We must act before the humans consolidate their power. The future of the Alliance depends on it." As the conspiracy deepened, reports began to surface of strange anomalies occurring in the Cygnus Reach, a region of space known for its treacherous asteroid fields and spatial distortions. Ships were disappearing without a trace, their distress signals abruptly cut off. Commodore Jax Orion, commander of the UEA Nemesis, a stealth-focused supercarrier, was assigned to investigate. The Nemesis was designed for covert operations, equipped with advanced cloaking technology and sensor arrays that could penetrate even the most sophisticated defenses. Orion and his crew spent weeks scouring the Cygnus Reach, searching for clues. They discovered fragments of destroyed ships, but nothing that could explain the disappearances. The wrecks were too heavily damaged to identify their origin, and there were no survivors. Then, one day, the Nemesis stumbled upon a ghost ship. It was a Meridian Alliance transport vessel, drifting aimlessly through space, its hull riddled with holes. But there were no signs of battle, no debris, no bodies. It was as if the crew had simply vanished. "Report," Orion ordered, his voice grim. "Sensors detect residual energy signatures consistent with human slip space drives," the sensor officer reported. "But the signatures are distorted, as if the drives were malfunctioning." Orion's eyes narrowed. "Malfunctioning? What are you suggesting?" "I don't know, sir," the sensor officer replied. "But it's as if someone is using human technology to create these ghost ships, as if they're trying to sow chaos and discord." Orion knew that he was onto something big, something that could threaten a fragile peace between humanity and the Meridian Alliance. He ordered the Nemesis to pursue the lead, determined to uncover the truth behind the ghost ships before it was too late. The Nemesis was about to have her stealth tested to the max and discover who was brave enough to use humanity's own technology against them. The defeat at Arcturus was a catastrophic blow to the Meridian Alliance. Admiral Luwei's fleet, once the pride of their military, was now a collection of disabled hulks drifting in space. The human fleet, led by the Hyperion, maintained a watchful guard, ensuring that no further hostilities erupted. Within the Alliance, blame and recrimination were rampant. Councillor Sorrow, struggling to maintain order, faced growing calls for his resignation. The Hardliners, led by General Salo, seized the opportunity to rally support for their cause, arguing that the Alliance had been too lenient with the humans. Aboard the Hyperion, Zerk, the captured intelligence operative, was undergoing a transformation. She had spent weeks in conversation with Captain Shin and Admiral Martinez, learning about human culture, history, and technology. She had come to realize that the Alliance's propaganda had painted a distorted picture of humanity, portraying them as aggressive and expansionist. In reality, humans were driven by a desire for knowledge, exploration, and cooperation. "Captain," Zerk said one day, "I have made a decision. I want to help you. I want to help you show my people the truth about humanity." Chin smiled. "We would welcome your help, Zerk, but we understand if you have reservations. Your loyalty to your people is admirable." "My loyalty is to the truth," Zerk replied. "And the truth is that the Alliance is on a dangerous path. It is clinging to outdated ideologies and suppressing progress. If it continues down this path, it will destroy itself." Zerk's knowledge of the Alliance's inner workings proved invaluable to the humans. She revealed the existence of Serpent's Embrace, General Salo's secret project to weaponize human technology. She provided detailed schematics of the weapon, as well as the location of the research facility where it was being developed. Admiral Martinez immediately ordered the Nemesis, under the command of Commodore Orion, to investigate. The Nemesis was ideally suited for this mission, with its stealth capabilities and advanced sensor technology. The Nemesis slipped silently into the outer reaches of the gas giant's atmosphere, its cloaking device rendering it virtually invisible to Alliance sensors. Orion and his crew carefully navigated the treacherous currents of the atmosphere, searching for the research facility. "There it is, sir," the sensor officer announced, "hidden beneath a layer of atmospheric interference. They're doing their best to conceal it, but our sensors are cutting through their attempts with ease." Orion studied the sensor readings. The facility was heavily defended, with multiple layers of energy shields and automated defense turrets. But the Nemesis was designed to penetrate such defenses. "Prepare to engage," Orion ordered. "We're going in." The Nemesis decloaked suddenly, its weapons blazing. The Alliance defenses were caught completely off guard. The ship moved with incredible speed, tearing through energy shields and destroying defense turrets before they could even react. The Nemesis penetrated the research facility and began systematically dismantling the Serpent's Embrace weapon. Orion's team of engineers worked quickly and efficiently, disabling the weapon's core components and preventing it from being used against humanity. As the Nemesis completed its mission, General Salo arrived at the research facility with a squadron of warships. He was furious at the intrusion and determined to destroy the human ship. "Open fire," Salo commanded. "Destroy the Nemesis. Show these humans that the Alliance will not be intimidated." The Alliance warships unleashed a barrage of energy weapons at the Nemesis. The ship's shields buckled under the assault, but they held. Orion knew that he couldn't stay and fight. The Nemesis was a stealth ship, not a warship. "Prepare for emergency slipped space jump," Orion ordered. "Set course for the Arcturus checkpoint." The Nemesis engaged its slipped space drive and vanished from the gas giant's atmosphere, leaving Salo and his forces in a state of frustrated rage. The data was secured, and the weapon was disabled. The destruction of Serpent's Embrace was a major victory for humanity. It demonstrated their resolve and their commitment to peace. It also gave Counselor Suro the leverage he needed to rein in the hardliners and pursue a more cooperative relationship with humanity. Zerk, now a trusted advisor to Captain Chin, played a key role in the diplomatic efforts. She used her knowledge of Alliance culture and politics to bridge the gap between the two civilizations. She helped to craft a new vision for the future, one where humanity and the Meridian Alliance could work together to build a better galaxy. The Nemesis had brought to light the deception and would become a catalyst for change, or so they hoped.